balance of teaching and family life is quite hard to maintain, especially if you're someone who goes into the profession genuinely caring about kids. I'm a First Nations teacher, and I'm a Ojibwe, and in our culture, we treat all children, we have the worldview that all of the children in the community are the responsibility of all of the adults in the community. So when I'm in a school, I treat all of the kids that I come into contact with as if they were my own children. And with that comes the responsibility of making sure that these children aren't just taught, but also that you're taking care of their emotional needs, their mental health needs, and also their spiritual needs. I've had a hard time, I guess, in the past trying to not let that affect me in my home life. I've had my marriage dissolve because of issues that me finding it or my spouse finding it very difficult to see me so engaged in my work and so passionate about what I do and caring about the kids and people I work with. An example of that was I remember one time when when one of my students was apprehended, and my principal came in during a class change to tell me I just lost it, and I knew this history of that particular child, and probably the most devastating story I've ever heard. And he was apprehended, and to hear that in a class change was not the best way of finding out, because I needed time to compose myself. But I remember going home that night and crying about it, and my husband at the time saying, "But why are you so upset? The student has so much better future ahead of them not being in that environment." But I said, "But you don't understand that a child will always know that their parents chose that lifestyle over them, that they placed that importance of that lifestyle over the children." I had a hard time separating myself from that. And I guess if you're not in teaching, it's hard to understand that. Teaching is a very busy and stressful profession, and it's very easy in terms of mental health to feel like you don't have time to do self-care. For myself, my own therapy has always been exercise. I'm a long distance runner, and that doesn't come naturally to me. I was not a runner as a child. I ended up taking it up several years ago, working my way up to running marathons, setting new goals, teaching myself to swim, to do my first triathlon just a few weeks ago, playing hockey and soccer, probably more active now than I was when I was a child. And people always ask me, like, how do you do it if you're teaching full time? And I teach part time at the university, and I have kids and a partner, and how do you balance all that? And the answer to that is basically you have to make time for self-care. You have to make that time. And everybody in my family knows that I need that time to run. I need that time, that scheduled time to go to hockey or soccer. That's my time to recharge. And if I don't have that, I'm no good to anybody. So I think we carry around a lot of guilt, especially if we're parents, that we feel we're taking time away from other things that need to be done. But you need to take that time to recharge. Otherwise, you're no good to anybody. And especially in teaching, when you're not only caregivers to your own children, but you're caregiving to other people's children all day long as well.